was just a bonus, and my www.metaphorology.com makes enough money monthly to buy us dinner. It's great to build wealth, but you also have to enjoy what you do. The moneymakers covered here have been carefully selected. Most are at least a bit weird or uncommon and therefore have less competition than most jobs or businesses. All of them are real ways that people have made money. I aimed for interesting, available in most areas, little money needed, little training needed, and potential for above-average income. Some entries meet all of these criteria, but all of the ways covered here meet at least several of them. Money. You'll find a section with the above title in each chapter. The profit potential of some of the occupations covered here will be obvious, but some key ways to realize that potential will be pointed out. What about the less lucrative jobs and businesses? My advice is to use them for what they are, enjoyable ways to make some money and steps toward bigger opportunities. For example, if you work as a bartender with the best shifts at the right clubs, you can have fun making a decent living. But if you want riches, you are free to use this as a means to someday own a chain of bars or nightclubs. And who knows where worm grunting, diaper cleaning, or mural painting might lead. Work as an employee and then become the boss. This theme appears again and again in this book. High incomes are rarely found in employment alone unless you become a pro football player or a movie star. Of course, a job doesn't have to make you rich if you really enjoy the work and it pays the bills, but it is also true that almost any job can be a training ground for creating future wealth if you treat it that way. Millions of business owners are right now training their future competition, their employees. If you are hired to market green funerals and you pay attention, you can someday own profitable funeral homes. A part-time job tearing down buildings can give you the knowledge and contacts necessary to start your own demolition company. Look at the small businesses covered here in the same way. A website about carpet stains might just barely pay the bills, but you can expand that into an internet empire consisting of 40 or more sites. Making a couple of $100s weekly as a magician working birthday parties is not the end of the line if you use the experience to eventually create a television show or to write best-selling books on magic. A snow removal business won't make you very much as a one-man venture, but you can put your profits into more equipment and employees. Think as an investor, too. Buying and selling used stuffed animals might not make you rich by itself. Then again, who knows? But the profits can be parlayed into bigger investments. I used to invest money with friends who bought and sold old cars, splitting the profits with me. Making $500 at a time wasn't thrilling, but I did save that money and eventually invested it into real estate to make bigger profits. Put all these ideas together, and you'll see that I'm suggesting you purposefully engineer upward progress in your financial life. Use jobs to gain the knowledge, the people access, and the skills you need for starting a business in a given field. Use small businesses to create larger ones. Use your investment returns to fund the next bigger investment. If you are seriously committed to doing so, you can make money with any of the ways covered here. And if it isn't enough by itself, you can use it as a step toward something better. My own story. Am I really qualified to write on different ways to make money? I'll tell you a few details of my life and let you decide. At 6 years old, I was an exterminator, killing flies in the house for a penny each at my mother's request. By 10, I was an arms dealer, collecting spent ammunition in the Great Paper Wad War and selling it back to the combatants, my brothers. By 12, I was running carnival games in the basement of my parents' house, charging money and offering prizes for ridiculously difficult games. Much of the paper route money earned by my brothers and their friends ended up in my first bank account. At 14, I became a loan shark, offering $2 loans to friends who had to repay me $3 in a week. My penchant for finding ways to make money did not end in childhood. By 16, I was cutting and selling firewood with a friend, making perhaps $5 per hour, which seemed like a lot of money in 1980. At 17, I took my first real job as a short-order cook in a big boy restaurant and saved enough money to hitchhike to California and Mexico, among other destinations. By 20, I was done traveling for